Hi and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction video for the 20th episode of Season 2 of Babylon 5 called The Long Twilight Struggle. You can now see the full reaction for this YouTube video on my Patreon channel, along with lots of other goodies. Links are in the description below. Last time we saw Talia and Susan getting closer. A damaged ship came through the jump gate and they brought the single occupant on board the station. They discovered it was Lita Alexander, who was the telepath on the station in the pilot film The Gathering. She scanned Kosh after he was attacked and is the only human to have done this and survived that we're aware of. After she comes round, she tells all of the senior staff that one of them is a spy and they don't know it. They have been implanted with a fake personality. Subconsciously they are always looking for information and collecting data on what's going on the station. She can find out who it is by sending a code that will unlock the personality. After someone tries to kill Lita, the captain agrees to everyone being sent the code, but Susan objects and refuses. Susan tells the captain that she doesn't want to be scanned because she has some minor telepathic abilities and doesn't want to be discovered by Psychor because she kept it quiet all these years. The captain agrees that she can be scanned last in the hope that the spy is found beforehand. After sending the code to most senior staff, Susan eventually agrees to participate, but it's not her and the spy is not found. Then Talia walks in and the code is sent and we find out it's her. Talia leaves the station, as does Lita, but not before we find out that Lita saw things when she scanned Kosh, and she's not revealed that to anyone else, and then Kosh shows her his true form. So let's see what happens in this episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction I'll be discussing what happened and my thoughts about it. And I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1. Centauri homeworld.
Ah, Londo.
Stroking the chair.
Good to see you again.
And you, Rifa?
Suppose he's been so nice to Reefer, considering he brought Reefer brought that thing against his friend, and Londo knows that. So I don't know. Thought he'd be a bit, unless he's acting, but
Rifa, the Emperor?
Is out among his people. He has left things here in the hands of his court.
he seems comfortable in that chair.
He appreciates his position and ours.
So the Emperor's a puppet.
Our work here
Has cost me the life of one friend already.
Okay.
Is there a reason I have been summoned here now?
Oh, so he was summoned there.
The war which began 6 months ago is about to end.
Well, the war was the Narn War.
Hello, dear friend.
I'm picking up an energy surge from the planet below.
Ah,
Station 3 to Commander Ivanova.
so previous episode we saw the planet below become active. They went down there, found the Great Machine. Delen's friend, who was coming to the end of his life, went into the machine to help control it and stabilize things and learn from it. And we haven't seen anything for a long time. We know that he has the ability to create like a holographic or an image of himself wherever he wants. So he must have just appeared to Delen, and Delen knew it without even looking. She had her eyes closed meditating, so she felt him being there. So yeah, let's see why. Sounds like she's having a shower in one of the only rooms with water. Oh, Captain. I thought it was Ivanova.
We're picking up some unusual signals from the planet below.
Oh, of course, the Captain's not been involved with any of that.
I do hope I'm not inconveniencing you, but I think we should talk.
Well, a minute earlier that could have been interesting if he'd popped into the shower. Nice to meet you. So the Captain's not met him, but obviously he knows who the Captain is. I would assume he's been keeping an eye on what's going on above him, and well, with the Great Machine, keeping an eye on what's going on in a lot of places, I should think. He looks a different actor to the one previous. Whenever I'm in front of the camera, my nose starts itching. I don't know what it is. I think it's the spotlights I have. The heat from them just makes me itchy. It's really annoying.
I've been watching you for quite some time.
Right.
Unless there's another Drawl who could do what you just did. You're the Minbari who took custody of the
So he's
planet we're
been
orbiting.
briefed on it.
It has nourished me. Returned to me my youth and appearance of 30 years.
Right. Okay, that's a good way of switching the actors, although he looks absolutely nothing like the previous actor. So it's basically he's in the machine and it's rejuvenated him, so it's knocked years off his life, because I don't know how long they live for, hundreds if not thousands of years within the Great Machine, and it sort of re-energizes him.
A guardian here for a short while and then gone. Humble. I can come back after you finish dressing.
He's obviously prepared that speech for a while.
I'm here to invite you down for a visit.
No.
When?
Whenever is most convenient for you. And whenever is most convenient for you is as soon as possible. Oh, and you can bring one other. You'll know who.
Delenn.
We have lost all contact with our holdings in that sector, so we must assume that they have fallen as well.
That voice is familiar. I can't think who it is.
The Kari is trying to perpetuate the belief that we are holding our own. We're not.
Then there is no hope.
There's always hope.
Yeah. That's not good though, not telling people what's going on when literally the colonies are falling down around them. That's pretty awful. I understand why they've done it.
We have located the supply world for the Centauri main force. It's heavily guarded, but open to attack if we commit the bulk of our forces for one all-out strike.
Risky.
We can cut their supply line.
They'll pull back.
This should make them pull back.
And with luck, this will buy us time to bolster our lines of defense.
That's pretty much the only thing it would do though, is buy time. Yeah, they would have to pull back because they wouldn't be able to supply their ships, but they would just pull back until they can fix the problem, fix their supply lines, and then push forward again. So it is only a time buy-in thing at best, but committing majority of their fleets, that's a dangerous move.
Prolonging the war beyond their capacity to fight it.
That's not going to happen.
Drawing off our forces like this will leave Homeworld with only a skeleton defense.
I know, but if we go on fighting the way we have been, sooner or later Homeworld will fall.
Fall anyway.
We must
so
change our strategy
yeah.
quickly. They will only be gone for a little while. The window of vulnerability is very small.
And I think that's when they're going to attack. That's the thing. If the Centauri know about this attack, which is the way Reefer was talking, I'm assuming they do. It might be a setup or something. It might not be the supply world. Yeah, so they're committing most of their force to attack that one place. Then the Centauri attack the non-home world. They can effectively pretty much win the war by taking over the home world, because that would just destroy the morale of all the Narn people. Yeah, they would win effectively. It would probably go on a little bit longer, but they'll have done the damage. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
They intend to strike at the Gorash 7.
Could be misinformation, an attempt to draw off our main force while they strike elsewhere.
It has just the right ring of desperation to be true.
It's tricky, isn't it? On both sides, you've got to keep doubting and second guessing everything you hear, because it might be a trick to lure them somewhere else, but then it might have been the other people who set it up in the first place as a trick, but it might be a double bluff. It's just it's really hard to work it out, isn't it? Who's right and who's wrong, and what the other side is actually planning to do.
Then you're going to be waiting for them at Garage 7, yes?
No,
No.
They will destroy our supply lines.
not if your forces are there waiting for them.
And where will all your generals be during this,
Launching a full assault
I
on
thought
the
they were-
non-homeworld. It's
I thought they were going to sacrifice that planet by just going straight for the homeworld. They wouldn't necessarily need it. They would to hold it, the non-homeworlds, but they're going to bring in Londo's friends.
We have no intention of invading Nan. Flattening it, yes. We will be using mass drivers.
They have been outlawed by every civilized planet.
Right.
We have treaties.
This one move will end the war in days instead of months.
Right. So they're talking about using mass driver weapons, which have been banned by treaty. All the other species haven't really got involved in the war before because many reasons, but by using illegal weapons, that would bring them in on the side of the Narn. That would put everyone against the Centauri. But as he said, if they take the Narn homeworld, the war would be over in days, not weeks. So they're basically hedging their bets that they can finish the war. And yeah, it's going to cause diplomatic issues, but it's kind of all over anyway.
We only require your assistance and that of your allies.
My allies have begun to worry me.
Yes, they are very powerful, which is what we need.
I just feel that things are moving too quickly. They threaten to spin out of control.
Too late.
A dozen of our largest battle cruisers are standing by in hyperspace waiting for your decision.
God, Reefer's blinded by it all. He said Londo's friends are very powerful. Has he not thought, why are they doing this? If they're so powerful, why are they helping the Centauri do all this? What's the payment for it all?
I would bring my associates into this, but this is the last time. If we are to seize our destiny, we must do it ourselves.
None of this has been done yourselves. That's ridiculous. The Shadows were involved in all of this from the beginning. None of it's them.
We still have to be sure this message is what it appears to be. There's always the chance that someone might send a bogus message.
But why?
Well, how about to get the both of you in a ship headed for the planet?
Well, the defences kick in.
Dral would never do that.
No, he'd recognise Delenn.
You know, that was before he went into that machine running the planet. Who knows what he's like now? And that's assuming he's the one who sent the message in the first place.
As security's got to think that.
We're next door neighbors, and he's right. It's about time we got to know each other.
Take some sugar.
He told me I could only bring one other, and that I would know who he was referring to.
Ready to depart whenever you are.
Come, Londo. Destiny awaits.
Destiny's already been working away. Non-refugees.
Seems that they wanted to know as much as possible about your homeworld's defense system.
Eventually, they will have to turn their eye toward Narn itself.
Yeah.
He said their questions seemed unusually urgent. The Centauri warships pulled out before they finished securing the planet.
The Centauri don't work that way. They're very thorough.
This is hardly enough information.
You know the Centauri. You know how they operate. If there's even a chance they mean to attack Homeworld.
The mission is too far along to stop it without proof.
Don't know what I'd do in that situation. You're planning an all-out attack on a supply line, but then you get pulling troops away from guarding your homeworld, and then you get told that the Centauri know about it, and effectively, and they're going to attack homeworld. I mean, it is a possibility, and it is one of the risks they're taking by making this attack. That's something they considered. If you've got some intel to say it's going to happen, it's your homeworld. I don't know. Difficult. I think maybe pull in some troops from other locations, because there are bound to be other ships guarding elsewhere. And it's meant to be a temporary thing until they get their troops back. I think I would be pulling ships from other locations to homeworlds at least. Just bolstering defences there. Don't know. What would you do? Would you abandon the attack or push forward regardless?
We are here.
Did you think I hadn't?
Of course he knew.
You've changed.
Ha! You can talk.
I like it.
Oh! I can't remember when the episode was, but was it before she changed into sort of a human Minbari hybrid? Ah, maybe.
Since taking up residence in the heart of this machine, see and hear things you cannot begin to imagine. And lately I've learned about your role in, shall we say, a conspiracy of light aimed at your own government.
Oh, Delenn doesn't. Well, it sounds like he has a lot of information that could be useful to him.
Now that I know the full capabilities of this place, I am prepared to place them at your disposal.
That's a hell of a tool.
It might be helpful for you to know that you are not alone, and that in the long Twilight Struggle, there is the possibility of hope.
There's always hope. I mean, the way he talks about the Great Machine, it sounds like he can pretty much get into anywhere and discover any information and see anything that's going on. I mean, that's just immensely powerful tool to have.
War leaders ascend to fleet ships. Stand by to attack. Status?
There's no Centauri ships.
Can we initiate jump?
Not until the jump engines can recharge.
Then we have no choice. Alert all ships. Prepare to attack.
That's a fairly brief assessment. Yep, we can't retreat. We have to attack. No choice. So gear up. Didn't seem to do any damage. Taking out their engines so they can't retreat. They intend to destroy everyone. Oh, did some damage. Are they going to make it? No. Oh. Use the jump point as a weapon. So that's the one that was damaged. Oh, it looks like it was seriously damaged. So it is possible to damage them. Mind you, it took 3, I think, heavy cruisers to fire on it.
It would be unwise to inform your government of our alliance. Oh.
Dral, are you all right?
I am picking up distress calls. So much to do, so little time. We must get to work. Zathras! Zathras!
Zathras is the being that we saw in the Babylon 4 episode. Yeah, he was looking for the one.
A devastating frontal assault on the Narn homeworld.
I'm surprised that Narn and Centauri are mingling like that anyway, with the war going on. I don't know how you better keep them apart normally. Oh, blimey, that's a bit of a roundhouse kick there. Yeah, how do you keep them apart normally? But would they really just be roaming around the station, just doing their daily business? God, that's like a city being hit by a large meteor. Just annihilate everything. Hospitals, not as military places. I mean, hospitals, homes, everyone is wiped out. You started it all. I become the destroyer of worlds.
With the planetary bombardment in its 4th day, the
4th day?
word has reached ISN of cities utterly destroyed. Hundreds of thousands of casualties.
Be millions? I thought in 4 days they'd have taken out all cities.
No, if you come back here, you will only be killed. You are the only one of the Kari who is still safe. And the hardest thing I have ever asked you to do.
Blimey. It obviously is hard the way he's walking.
I've been instructed by my government to come to you and ask for sanctuary.
By asking for sanctuary that protects him, he's now under Earth Gov protection? So if the Narn do surrender, and the Centauri, I don't know what they would do, but if they try and get Jakar off the station, he's the most senior member of the government or the leading body, still free. He's now under protection of EarthGov, so in theory they can't have him. Earth would have to step in to stop. Well, if he's granted sanctuary, which I can't imagine he wouldn't, to stop him from leaving. But yeah, that's gonna be hard for him to ask. When all his people are being attacked and killed, and then he's protected by a sanctuary thing. That's gonna be hard. But they need someone senior, safe and out of harm's way for the future, in case he can do something to help. Oh, was he back? Oh, it's been 4 days.
I wish to convene a meeting of the Babylon 5 Advisory Council and the League of Non-Aligned Worlds. I have an announcement to make.
That's not going to be good. God, I can't imagine looking at someone and knowing someone you've had drinks with, and I'd say they're friends, not close friends, but they're friends. Knowing that, well, he doesn't even know all the details, but even just knowing what he knows, that he's involved in this brutal attack on the Narn. He knows that much. Yeah, I can't imagine.
The Narn regime has offered complete and unconditional surrender. Ambassador Jakar may no longer represent the Narn. His appointment as ambassador to Babylon 5 is hereby withdrawn. Citizen Jakar will return to Narn.
He can do the first bit, but because of the sanctuary, he can't do the second.
Prior to this meeting, Ambassador Jakar asked for sanctuary on Babylon 5.
Co-sponsor of Babylon 5, the Minbari government supports this decision.
So he asked for sanctuary to Babylon 5, not to EarthGov.
No invader can hold an imprisoned population by force of arms forever. The Centauri learned this lesson once.
They'll learn it again.
We will be free.
The Centauri Republic today announced plans to annex several smaller worlds adjacent to Narn space, declaring them protectorates of the Republic.
They're not stopping. And Londo thought they would. Take the Narn, that's it. Nope.
Every resource that I have, any way that I can help you win back your planet.
It's a bit late. He asked for that help.
It's yours.
Before the planet was lost. There's rangers there.
They have come to pledge themselves to you.
They call themselves Rangers.
The Great War is nearly upon us. The Rangers have been under my direct command. I now transfer equal authority to you.
That from this place we will deliver notice to the parliaments of conquerors that a line has been drawn against the darkness.
Oh, he did well to come up with that speech off the top of his head, didn't he? God, imagine just waking up. I know it's happened over a number of days, but okay, let's say at the beginning of the week, he's just in command of the station, and then he goes down to see the Great Machine, and then he's been told that he's got all the resources of the Great Machine at his not control, but available to him. Then he has joint control of a small army given to him. The Narn Centauri War is over. I mean, that's a hell of a week. Yeah, good episode. Yeah, I'd say so much happened. I kind of talked about it as it went along, really. What are we on now? Episode 20. Only a couple of episodes left of the season. But it's already sort of building up. I mean, you kind of would assume that the end of the Narn Centauri War would be it, but then we hear that the Centauri are annexing colonies around Narn, and they're going out and spreading out, and it's this blowing up into a bigger thing. You can see that this is the, I mean, Delen's talked about the beginning of the Great War, and you can see that it's building up to it, which is very clever. It's, I don't know. So taking World War II for example, I don't know if how known it was before the start of the war that there was going to be a war or conflict of some kind. I don't know if it was if people saw it building up to, you know, the tension building up, or whether it just happened. I'm not completely sure. But to see that coming, but at least if you can see it coming, you can prepare, which they are preparing. An army of light. I say Kosh was always there in all of these, which he's not always. He hasn't always been there for a lot of the meetings and things, but he's been in all of them so far, watching in the background. Yeah, so really looking forward to the next episode. Well, all the future episodes, you can see it's building up into something big, so it'll be interesting to watch. Let me know what you thought about this one in the comments below, and I shall see you for the next one. Be seeing you.